My name is Aiko, and for most of my life, I felt invisible. In my small coastal town, I was the quiet girl no one noticed, except for my older brother, Haru. He was my anchor, my best friend, and the one person who always saw me for who I was. Our parents worked overseas, leaving Haru to raise me in our little house by the sea. He'd walk me to school every morning and pick me up every afternoon, where I'd tell him everything I was too shy to share with anyone else. At home, we'd play silly games, like building sandcastles in the backyard or inventing characters with the clothes from his old theater costumes.
You're going to rule the world one day.
He'd always say. Even if you don't know it yet. But as we grew older, life pulled us apart. Haru got a job in the city and only came home on weekends. I'd wait at the bus stop every Friday, excited to see him. We'd spend the evenings cooking dinner, watching old movies, or walking along the shore. One Friday, though, Haru didn't arrive. I waited for hours until my phone buzzed with a call. A stranger's voice shattered my world.
Are you Haru's sister? He's been in an accident. He's at North Shore Hospital.
I rushed there, finding him unconscious, hooked up to machines. The doctor said he had fallen onto the subway tracks and hit his head. He was in a coma, and they couldn't say when, or if he'd wake up. Every day, I visited him. At first, I brought books to read aloud, hoping my voice might reach him. One day, I forgot my book, so I just talked about the weather, my classes, the birds I'd seen outside. That day, a nurse stopped me in the hallway.
If you have time, there's another patient in room 7. He's in a coma too, and he doesn't have any visitors.
I hesitated but decided to peek into the room. A boy about my age was lying there, pale but peaceful. Without thinking, I sat down beside him and started talking, just like I did with Haru. "You're lucky you don't have to deal with math exams," I joked. "But you're also missing out on some really great sunsets." I began visiting both of them daily. For Haru, I brought books and old photos. For the boy, whom I nicknamed the artist because of the sketchpad on his bedside table, I brought stories about my day. One day, curiosity got the better of me, and I opened his sketchpad. Inside were stunning drawings of the subway station. Each page captured the same scene from different angles, people waiting, trains arriving, and, on one page, a girl who looked a lot like me. The realization hit me like a wave. He had been at the station the day Haru fell. Could he have seen what happened? Determined to find answers, I returned to the station and asked around. An older woman there remembered the accident.
A young man fell onto the tracks. Another boy jumped down to save him, but he got hurt too. It was heroic.
My heart sank. The artist had risked his life to save Haru. Back at the hospital, I started talking to him differently. I thanked him for his bravery and shared how much Haru meant to me. One day, the nurse told me,
Haru's awake.
I ran to his room, tears streaming down my face. He smiled weakly at me. Later, I asked about the boy who saved him, but Haru didn't remember much. I went to the artist's room to say goodbye, knowing I might not be allowed to visit him anymore. "Thank you for saving my brother," I whispered. "I'll never forget you." Weeks passed. Haru recovered, but life felt emptier without my visits to the artist. Then one day, while walking along the shore, I heard a familiar voice behind me.
Aiko?
I turned to see him, the boy from the hospital, standing there with a cane but smiling. "Do you remember me?" I asked, breathless.
I don't just remember you, but I've been drawing you for months.
He held up a new sketchpad, filled with drawings of me on the beach, at the station, and even sitting beside his hospital bed.
I never thought I'd meet you, but now that I have, I don't want to let you go.
As the sun set behind us, painting the sky in shades of gold and pink, I took his hand. I'm glad you're here. Let's create something beautiful together. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel invisible.